So can you just describe the situation that your city is in at this moment after this wicked weather?
Well, we're in full cleanup mode, and the nature of the storm, where the snow extended over a period of about 48 hours, so that every time our crews would get out there, and there's been quite a bit of wind, so every time our crews would get out there and clear streets, they had to go back and clear them again. We've had over 20 centimeters of snow, and that has created some real challenges in terms of the roads, but everybody's working together extraordinarily well. And we're just asking, the schools are closed, asking people who can to stay home while we get out there and clear the streets for them.
Yeah, good news for those students, but I'm sure this is taking its toll on the people of Saskatoon. What have you been hearing from residents?
It's Saskatchewan, so we are used to facing, these types of situations. And so actually overall people have been very helpful, helping their neighbors get their sidewalks cleared, people pushing each other if they're stuck in their car. And actually, really we're trying to have as much coordination as possible between the city, emergency services, schools, to make sure that all of the emergency services can be in place. One big worry is homelessness. We have more people homeless, as many cities have across the country, than we're used to in the past, and very concerned about that population, especially now as the temperatures are dropping. So there's a lot of work to make sure we have warm-up facilities in place and places for people to go.
Yeah, you've got this extreme cold weather or emergency plan, as I understand it. So what can you tell us about how that's operating? What kind of services are being offered for people?
Well, it's meant we've had to really coordinate to make sure that we can have libraries open. We have a church that provides a warm-up facility. Last night we had our police go in 4x4s to pick up staff to be able to make sure that those facilities could be staffed up. The outreach teams that are used to going out and helping people have had a hard time getting around. And so that's where we've really needed to band together and coordinate and make sure we're able to help each other between our emergency services and those incredible community organizations that are out there supporting people. So I've been very, very proud of how well everybody has been working together.
What kind of calls are emergency responders getting during this time? Has there been anything sort of really concerning that they've had to respond to?
Nothing extraordinary. I got an update yesterday afternoon in the midst of the storm that they said that they've been able to manage. The ambulances were having some trouble in some of the neighborhood cul-de-sacs to get if they had to, go in and the ambulances would get stuck. But it's mostly the health calls and the typical calls. It's just a matter of getting to them. And then, as I mentioned, also working with the most vulnerable population to make sure that there aren't people that are just stuck out in the cold. So, as I said, it's Saskatchewan. We're used to snow. We're used to weather. As is mentioned earlier, we actually really need the moisture. It's just a matter of getting through this and giving the plows some time to clear the streets and make sure that people can get around and go about their week.
Yeah, you mentioned people getting around. So when it comes to things like transit, what's the situation there? But I also want to ask you about the latest with the airports, because I know we're hearing there was some cancellations and things like that. So people getting in and out of your city or just getting around your city right now, it's not easy.
Yeah, that's where transit had to go down to a very reduced route. We do clear the bus routes as a priority, but because we had to keep going back over and over on our high-speed freeways to re-clear streets, it delayed our ability to get those transit routes clear yesterday. So we're building up our transit capacity and getting more and more routes back on deck as of today. And so for people who don't have vehicles, it's also a big challenge, and that's why we know how important it is to be able to get those routes cleared. We're hoping by the end of today, we're going to be able to have our transit fully operational.
Well, we can see some people behind you there making their way around town already. So people, looks like, are able to get out, but still, I know you're going to be digging out of this for some time. So we'll let you get back to doing the work that you're doing so well out there. Thank you so much, Mayor of Saskatoon Charlie Clark, for joining us out in the midst of this